Hello everybody and welcome to Bird's Nest Designs. I am here tonight for Tutorial Tuesday, sharing a really fun card that we're going to create together using the tree lot dies. So welcome to my craft space. My name is Denise Cox and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Canada. Every Tuesday, I come here live on Bird's Nest Designs Facebook page at 5 o'clock, so live at 5. And I have a really fun, hopefully fun card to share with you tonight. This one, I haven't already made it. I have an idea in my mind and we're just going to go with it. So let me just click all these things closed down here. All right, so hopefully everybody can hear me. Say hello. Hello, Tina. Say hello as you join me. I love to know who's watching along and who I'm creating with tonight. This afternoon, I guess it's not night. I used to do live at 7:30 Pacific time, and I've recently switched to 5. Just thought it would be a little bit easier to reach more people, and so here we are. So thank you for joining me. It has been so hot. Hello, Gail. It is so warm here in Trail, British Columbia. I think it was 36 or 34. I don't know. It was hot. It was hot today. Driving home from work, it was hot. Even the puppies don't want to go outside to play. So hot, hot, hot. It's a nice time to be downstairs chilling in my cool craft room, making a card or two with you. Alrighty. So, as you guys know, Sale-A-Bration is currently on. So from this brochure, from July to August, I do want to point out that they're while supplies last only, the products in here. So we were just recently informed that the pool party and soft seafoam cards and envelopes has already sold out. So please, if there's something in here that you like really need to have, then don't wait too long because I would hate to have them sell out on you. Oh, Gail, yes, it's horrible to have to work in a warm office, isn't it? Well, you can come chill at my craft room anytime. It's nice and cool down here. So yeah, so while supplies last only, the product that I'm featuring on my blog all week and what we're going to create the card with tonight or this afternoon is these free, fun tree lot dies. They are awesome and you're going to see them in action and I hope that you're going to love them as much as I do. So as I mentioned, I don't have a plan for, well, I have a plan, but I haven't actually made tonight's card before. I haven't made, usually I make a protocol or a prototype and I know what I'm making. Tonight I just cut some pieces. I have an idea up here and hopefully it's going to translate down onto the paper just like it is in my mind. So we're going to go do some real-time crafting with Denise tonight and hopefully there's not too many bloopers. Oh, thank you, Gail. I knew as soon as I pulled those cards out, these dies, I knew I had to do a pink camper because y'all know I love pink. And if I'm going to make a camper any way I want, it's going to be pink. So thank you. And if you guys want to check that out, you can just visit my blog, createwithbirdsnest.ca. Monday's post was the pink camper. All right, I'm going to switch this camera down to my desk. And I'm watching the comments, so please let me know what you think as we go. I may be asking some questions, some ideas. Like I said, these are just pieces I've pre-cut with a design in my mind. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so we're gonna start with just a plain basic white card base. So this is thick basic white. It's just a little bit thicker than our regular cardstock and it's a little bit sturdier for making the card bases. So I've done a tent fold, which is just the long fold, and it's 11 inches by 4 1/4, and I've gone ahead and scored it at 4 1/2, which is the halfway mark. So when we fold that, it's going to create our card base. Okay, so I've got my bone folder, burnishing that, and as you can see, it stands up nice with this thick cardstock. Okay, so that's as far as I got as far as complete ideas go. We've got a white card base. So here I've just cut out a bunch of pieces and I'm going to show you what I did, but we're going to keep the die cutting to a minimum because I know it shakes the camera when I'm doing my live videos and I don't want to make anybody seasick. So I'll show you what I've done. These are the dies. Look how many you get. And you guys, you can get these for free. You just have to place a $120 order and you can choose these for free. They do coordinate with the Trees for Sale stamp set, which is in the July to December mini catalog. So you can definitely add this as an add-on into your order to earn these for free. And they do coordinate beautifully, but you also can use these all by themselves. So we're going to use a combination tonight, I think. So what I've done is I've taken some smoky slate and I've die cut out the trailer. So that's this die right here. And then I took some basic gray. I was kind of going for an Airstream kind of looking trailer. And I've gone ahead and cut out these two trim pieces. And that is this die here. It's 2-in-1. So you may look at it and go, what is that? I did the first time and then I cut it and went, oh, I see what it is. So that's super cute. So I die cut that out. And then that's just some scraps I have here. And then I die cut out the trailer again. And the reason I did that, I did it in white. And the reason was I figured I wanted to fill my windows in because I'm not sure what's going to go. So I cut the trailer out, but I only actually kept the two window pieces. So that's the other thing. And then look at all these trees. So on my card on Monday, I used the trees and the detailed tree dies. Tonight, I've just cut out the 3 trees here in garden green. Okay, so I figure in my thinking here, I've got some trees in our card design. And then, so that's what we're using so far from here. And then you guys all know my favorite go-to dies are these stylish shapes. And I've gone ahead and cut out of Balmy Blue the largest circle here. Okay, so I've just cut that out and you can see it right here. And then I was supposed to have a little yellow circle as well. Let me just see, maybe I left it in the envelope. Oh, here it is. So I've cut out a little yellow circle also from the, hello Carol, thank you for joining us. So this is also stylish shapes. This is the smallest circle and I've used Daffodil Delight. Okay, so let's start putting this together and see how it goes. All right, I've also just pulled out a couple pieces of crumb cake. I do have a plan for both of these, but we'll see how it goes. All right, so I'm gonna start with a Night of Navy cardstock, and this is just 4x4, so just simple. And then I want to have a white backdrop to my camping scene. So I'm going to attach to the Night of Navy a 3 7/8 by 3 7/8 square of basic white. Now, I'm just going to use a little bit of my Stampin' Seal. So a lot of times when I sit down to create, I have a card design in my mind. And a lot of times it doesn't come out quite the same way, but we'll see how tonight goes. I'm hoping this is gonna work. So how do you guys create? Do you know what you're gonna do ahead of time? Do you like to case and look at something and go from there? Do you start from scratch? Do you just have an idea and go with it? I love the creative process, how we all are so very different. So I'd love to know how you start your crafting adventures. For me, it's usually with an idea and then we'll go from there. All right, so my thinking was this blue circle is going to be the sky backdrop. So I'm going to attach that to our square here. And centered like this. Okay, and then of course our camper is not going to just be sitting in the middle of the sky, so we're going to need some earth to ground that trailer. So this is what I've got now. In my mind, I was thinking of cutting it, but as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, oh, I could rip it. So let me think. Should I rip this or just cut? I think I'm just gonna cut it. Tina, I hear you. I am the same way. So I'm just gonna really quickly, there's no rhyme or reason. I'm just gonna give this a little kind of like I'm making like mounds of dirt. Is kind of my thinking here. So I'm sure there's probably a die somewhere in my collection that would have done something similar, but it's just as easy to just cut. So there is our dirt. Oh, it looks like everybody sort of has a little bit different, likes to see things, have a starting point. Yeah, it is. Creativity is so awesome because it's so unique for all of us. And it's really neat to watch how we come up with different things. Um, I know for my team members, I send out a card every month with it included is a little kit of we call it our creative challenge. So we all get the same pieces, me included, and using those pieces, we each make a card and then we share it. And it's so fun to see how everybody comes up with something so very different. I love it. All right, so my glue is having a all right, there we go. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue along the bottom of our earth piece here because I feel like I might want to start tucking some things under there. So I don't want to limit how much tucking I can do. Okay, so here we go. And as you guys can see, I'm a glue first kind of person. I'm not one of those people who usually lays things out and then glues it. Typically, I just start gluing and then I just, as I always say, I add things till I like it. So this is what we're doing. Okay, now here's our little trailer. So I want to assemble the trailer. Isn't it adorable? So these pieces are going to go on for the trim, and there's nice lines here in the embossing or in the die cutting. It embosses the lines for you. So can you guys see those on there? Let me just bring it a little closer to the camera. So you can see all those lines and you can see how these fit perfectly in those spots. Oh, it's hard to do when I'm holding it up like that, but you'll see as we create this card. But what I do want to do is color the hitch and the tire because I would like them to be black. Now I could have die cut the trailer a third time in black and cut those out and paper piece them, and that would have been great too, but I'm just going to use my Stampin' Up marker and I'm just going to color. On the card I did Monday, I used my stamping blends and that works too. This just doesn't bleed into the paper as much, so you get a little bit of a darker black, I realized after the fact, and it doesn't bleed up into there, which wouldn't matter anyway because we're putting our trim on, so it's all good. So there we've got, now we have a black tire and a black hitch. So don't forget about your Stampin' Up markers and your blends when you need just a little piece of your cardstock die cut colored, because it's super easy. You saw how quickly I did that. Now let's go ahead and put our trim on. And now as I'm doing this, I'm thinking I should have cut the trailer out. If I was going for the Airstream kind of trailer, I should have cut it out with silver foil paper, and that would have been really fun. But nonetheless, this is going to be great too. So again, we're just going to attach that. Here. Oh, I just love this cute little trailer. All right. So there you can see our trailer assembled. Isn't it cute? But see what I was talking about with the windows? Like you can just see whatever's going to be behind it, you're going to be able to see. So that's why I thought that I wanted to cut these out in white to kind of block the windows. On the card on Monday, I actually used this little die here. You can see it, this little tiny scallop. And it's actually curtains to go in the window. It's so adorable. This is like just such a cute die set. Okay, so my thought was, let's go back to this. Sun in the sky and trees sort of all around the camper. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on my trailer. And honestly, this is like such a great set for anybody who loves to camp. If you guys have like camping buddies, people who like to just, you know, go out and enjoy the outdoors. It's just super fun. It would make a great retirement card too, actually, as I'm thinking about it. You know, go out and enjoy your time off work and relax. Everybody seems to associate camping with relaxing. So, okay, there's our trailer on some dimensionals. And then to pop those windows in, because I don't really like that I can see that behind, I'm just going to use some mini dimensionals. And we're just going to pop that window in. Now, hopefully, hoping it doesn't matter which way it comes in there. Okay, so there's white. Now we could have used a different color. You could do a really fun something. You could make it into like a shaker card or something, you know? You could put clear in there. Check out on Pinterest too. Some people have made these amazing 3D trailer boxes. Oh my goodness, they're just so cute. I'm certainly gonna have to try making one myself. They're adorable. Okay, so there's our trailer with our windows put in. It definitely needs something, right? So here's the trees we cut out, or I cut out ahead of time. And as I mentioned, those came from the tree lot dies. There's 3 different trees in here. And what I'm thinking is to give it a little bit of stamping. I'm going to use my Trees for Sale stamp set. And this stamp set has Christmas greetings, but really you can make so many. You could use these dies all year round. You could use these trees, the puppy, all the stuff all year round. It's just really the sayings that are limiting you to Christmas time. So it's a great versatile set, and I'm super happy I added it to my my catalog order. Thanks, Sheila. Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so we're going to use Garden Green. I really like the look of tone on tone. So the same color ink on the same color cardstock. So we've got Garden Green. I've got all 3 trees, and what I'm using is just these ones here. So the little bit of detail. And I'm just going to stamp because I think it's going to look really cute. Oh, okay, so I'm going to do that for all 3 trees. And what I'm trying to do is line up the tip of the tree to the center tip up here to try and make sure that it's nice and centered. But they're trees, so it really, in the end, it doesn't really matter, right? But isn't that cute? Look at those. It just gave it a little bit of dimension, a little bit of extra pop. So, okay, let's see. Our trees, we could have one tree kind of in behind our trailer over here. Oh. See, that's what I was afraid of. I got one of my dimensionals too close. That's okay. Nobody used to say it has to stay in the 4-inch square, right? So that's kind of cute there. And then, what do you guys think? Does it look good like that kind of placement? Is that looking, and then maybe we could pop the sun up in the sky up here. I think that's pretty cute. Okay. So I am going to use my liquid glue. Thanks, Gail. It is cute, isn't it? I love it. Okay, so let's stick this tree in here. Okay, so there's our little tree tucked in here. Then let's go ahead and attach these trees over here on the side. And I like the look of the layers. So what I'm going to do to keep that is glue this guy down with just some multi-purpose glue. And again, my dimensional is kind of in the way. So this one we might have to fiddle with. So you can sometimes come in here and just pop that dimensional up. Yes, okay, good. Okay, so here's the other, this is the medium-sized tree. And I don't want it sticking through the window, but I just want it kind of popped here behind the trailer. And then I'll go ahead and put that back down. Sometimes you have to do a little bit of adjustment once you do that. But that's one benefit. I guess that would be one benefit of placing everything and then gluing it down instead of what I do and glue and hope for the best. But it all works out in the end, right, ladies? Okay, so here's our 3rd tree. This is the smallest of the trees. And I've just put the dimensionals on the side because there's already dimension on the trailer. So when I sit that down like that, ooh, look at it, it's so cute. It looks like a little camping theme. I love it. Okay, so let's tuck our sun in, and I don't know where we want to put our sun. What do you guys think? Does the sun look better over here on the left or tucked in over here on the right? Should I have it popping up behind the trailer? Okay, you guys let me know. Where do you think that sun should pop? Left, right, right, or a trailer? I'm not sure. So I'm gonna go on to the next step and think about that for a minute. So you guys let me know. On the left, higher in the sky. Okay. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back to my card base. And I really wanted to make this, now all three of you, oh, everyone's got a little bit of a different answer. Okay, well, we'll see where it ends up. Let's finish my next thought. Okay, so we used Night of Navy cardstock in the back. So I'm going to tie that in, and I'm going to use Night of Navy for stamping my greeting. And I really want this just to be kind of a card I could send just to brighten somebody's day. I don't want it to be anything specific. I love sending happy mail. So we're going to use one of my favorite stamp sets from the annual catalog. We're going to use Simply Fabulous. And a few weeks ago, I featured this on my blog for Product of the Week. So check that out if you like this stamp set. And I'm going to use this Just Saying Hello. It's so fun, and I just think this would be a fun card to send in the mail for some happy mail. So we're going to ink that up in our Night of Navy, and then I'm just going to stamp that in the bottom right corner of my card base. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. Okay. So I get very excited when things go. Oh, there's my sun. Okay. So now we got that. And this is how I'm going to place it on the card, kind of like this. The sun, I'm still not determined. On the left, higher in the sky. On the right, behind the trailer. Behind the tree on the right. So we have 2 votes for the right. So let's go with that. Right, kind of over there. Kind of ties in, but then this kind of balances it out. Okay, I still don't know. So we're going to set the sun off to the side for a sec. Now I want to use some texture. So I'm going to bring in some linen thread. I like that this is nice and rustic for our camping theme. So linen thread. Pop this up, and I'm just going to kind of wrap it around the bottom here a few times. So to do that, I'm wrapping it around the front. I'm going to use a small piece of tear tape to hold it in place. And then if you take the backing of the tear tape off, now that's sticky, right? So now we can wrap this around and stick it to that tape. So that way it is holding everything in place. And then I like to just tuck another piece in behind to hold all those pieces down. Cut that off. Okay, so that gives a nice little bit of texture to the card. Oh, and that's tear tape that we can see. That's no good. Let me just trim that off. Okay, so that's that. I think that's going to go on like that. So we're good to glue that down now. So again, we might as well use that adhesive and peel that off. Oh, morning or night? Right is in the morning, left is night. Oh dear. Okay, well, let's see. To me, this looks like it should be daytime because the sky is nice and blue. So we'll go with day, Tina. Thank you for that. So right, we're going to put it on the right. This is where it's going to go. Sunrise on the right. Okay, here's our linen thread. Now, there's one more thing that I just saw, and I was going to do it first. So we'll see what we can do. Did any of you guys notice the adorable little puppy in the stamp set? Look at it, and look at these cute little paw prints. So I wanted to incorporate that, and I totally forgot. So I'm gonna try. This might not go well, but we're gonna try. So have you ever done that where you've got something so far done in your card, and then you're like, oh no, I forgot I wanted to do that, and then you're trying to fussy around it and get it done? Well, this is what I'm gonna try and do right now. So I wanted to have the little paw prints. They're adorable. Look at them, so cute. So I wanted to have them kind of coming up to the trailer, which now is going to be very challenging. But what I'm going to do, so I'm going to hold my linen thread down. I'm going to stick this scrap piece of cardstock in there. This might not work. And then I'm inking this up with soft suede. And I'm gonna just sort of stick it down here. Oh, it worked. Okay, perfect. So you can see the little paw prints leading up to the trailer. Super adorable. They probably would have stamped a little nicer had I not done it after the fact, but you get the gist. So next time if I want to recreate this card, I'll definitely stamp the paw prints first. So now I want to stamp the little puppy, and I'm going to use soft suede ink on crumb cake paper. And stamp him down here. So adorable. And then I am going to die cut. So in those Tree Lot dies, there's also a die to cut out this puppy, which is super cute. So using my I'm going to stick a post-it note over top so that that die stays in place. Move this, and I'll bring in my, actually, you know what? Yeah, I will. Here's my little mini stamp boss machine, my little boss, my mini boss. And we're going to attach, or not attach, but lay. So when you use the mini, it's a little bit different sandwich than when you use the big one. So this is just using the number 1, number 2, which is the clear plate, and then number 2 again. And hopefully you guys don't get too seasick from this. Motion sickness. Okay. So there's our little puppy all cut out. Adorable. Back to our card. Oh my goodness, I've got the paper moving around and everything. This is what happens. Okay, so there's our cute little puppy, and of course he needs to be on some dimensionals because he needs to stand right out. So again, the minis fit perfectly behind him. Or her. Oh yes, this die, these trees for sale, Tina. Yes, they are on out of stock currently, but they'll be back next week. They're due to be back in stock on the 25th. So don't worry, you still have time. And these are in the annual catalog until the end of December. So you have lots of time to order this. It's the dies that are only available while supplies last as the Sale-A-Bration product. So I'm going to have this little playful puppy down here, kind of overlapping the linen thread, and kind of like he's running to the trailer. It's so cute. And then I feel like to balance this off, it needs a little bow or knot over here. So that's all that's left on my linen thread. So we might as well just use it all up. And I'm just gonna, I've doubled it over. Okay, so I've just folded it in half. And then, I don't know, a bow or not. I feel like a bow might be a little bit too, well, let's just see what it looks like. So again, I've just got this doubled up, and then I just tied a bow. And then I've got this little tiny tail. It drives me crazy when that happens. So I'm just gonna pull these and make them, I don't know, bow? I'm not sure. The bow's not really jiving with me here tonight. I don't think the bow is what we need there. So what I do think would look cute is maybe just a knot. Okay, so I got this one's looped over, so I don't want them to be together. I'm just going to trim that. Pull these apart, and then trim this one as well. So again, just texture. I love adding texture and layers and all those different things to the cards. It just gives them a lot of personality. Yeah, no, Gail, I didn't like the bow either. The bow wasn't nice. And these are too long. So there's kind of a knot, and then to me it looks like it needs maybe another knot here. So don't be afraid to just, you know, use your linen thread, use your ribbons for different things. And I'm going to tie another one here. So we've kind of got a little cluster. And if you're patient and you fray, you can actually fray the end of the linen thread, which would give it even more of a rustic look. It helps when there's not a camera overhead that you're trying not to get your head in. So there. Now, oh, we just have to put the sun down. I do think I like it behind that tree right there. It's like it's just rising in the morning. So let's put that there. And that tree is not staying. This part's not staying. So I'm going to try and tack a little bit of glue underneath here. This is another thing that often happens to me. I find myself putting glue in after the fact. And now my glue won't work. Okay, well that doesn't want to come out. I think I've maybe have drained this multi-purpose glue. Okay, there we have it. What do you guys think? Are we liking this trailer? Are we liking the card the way it is? I just had another thought, but only paper I have. To me, the window looks boring. Looks like there's no, looks like it's missing something. But the only color I have currently is crumb cake, because I've left everything else in my craft studio where all my supplies are. So, oh, you guys, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna just quickly, I'm gonna die cut out of crumb cake. I just want to see if this is gonna make a difference. It feels, like I said, I feel like it just needs a little something something over there. So I'm die cutting out that little curtain I just told you guys about. And you're gonna be, this is like so funny. So here's this tiny little die, right? And you think, what is that gonna do? But watch, it just finishes off this trailer. Like, look it! What do you guys think? Okay, so my options are, because I'm limited in supplies, we can leave it crumb cake, or I can color it black. So what do you guys think for the curtain? I'll show you how it looks on the card up close. Look at that cute curtain. It's so adorable. So crumb cake or black? Let me see what you guys are thinking. Leave it. I'm with you, Sheila. I think it needs to be left like that too. So let me see if I can get a little bit more glue out of this guy. Yes. Okay. Yay. All right, now we're done. Doesn't that just finish it off and add that final little touch? Okay, so thank you everybody for helping me to design this card and for watching along with me live. If you're watching the replay, hello to you and thank you so much for watching. Let me know you've watched it. Hashtag replay. I love seeing who's watching and I love reading all your comments after the fact too. I know that, you know, being live, I can't catch everybody at the right time, but I do love when you guys leave me comments. All right, so here we are. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, everybody who's watching, for helping and joining in and helping me to create this really adorable Just Saying Hello camping theme card. Those dies are priceless, you guys. Like, they're so cute. And they would work for scrapbooking too if you're a camper and you've got camping pictures. Like, honestly, they're just adorable. So again, thanks for watching, Sheila. Again, that's the Tree Lot dies, all these guys that you can get for free. And you saw how easy it was to build a trailer. And like I said, if you go to createwithbirdsnest.ca, you'll see my pink trailer I created and shared on Monday. And again, on Friday, I'll be posting another project. So Friday in July, every Friday in July, I'm posting Christmas in July on my blog. So I will be posting a Christmas themed card using these fun trailer dies. So watch for that. Anyway, Thank you everybody for being here tonight and for supporting me and watching along and crafting with me. I love it. And yeah, so again, thank you very much. Remember, Sale-A-Bration is on July and August. Get these dies for free with a $120 order. In the description of tonight's video here on Facebook, I've included the link to my online store. So it's already there with the July host code attached. And yeah, so if you want to get these set of these dies for yourself before they're all gone, now's your chance. All right, everybody, have a great night. I'm gonna go out and spend some time in the sunshine and pick all my amazing, delicious raspberries that are crazy amounts of them right now. So I got to get them before my puppies do. They love them. All right, everybody, cheers. Have a good night and happy stamping.